Tell me what's your story. I would like to know.
And that's important that I always love to highlight during our interviews, like support system, bro, because for like a lot of people take a lot of pride in like, or even in sometimes even in the rap music or different type of music. Oh, I did it all on my own. I did it myself. We need each other, bro,
Yeah.
more than ever. Like we need each other to help each other, to motivate, to inspire, to push, to do better, to make our life better. So I always love to highlight that support system and how important that is because you need the good people around you. Like what's that saying? Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah. It's
You
true.
need your birds need to be aligned with something that you want to be that's positive or something that you're already doing that's positive. Because if you get around those birds that are negative, everything's gonna go negative. You
You're
know what
right.
I'm saying?
You're right.
And I just love to hear like the interviews and when people go through really tough parts of their life and they're like, oh, I got closer to my mom, I got closer to my dad. You know, just like you were saying, your fiance picked up the slack. Like she a real one, bro.
Yeah. Of
Like
course.
that's fire. That's something that people out here are looking for now. You don't know how much I be hearing about the dating scene
Yeah. Oh
and
my
how
gosh.
how terrible it
Yeah.
is.
And it's not our fault either, right? Like we're being manipulated with all these dating apps and these
Social media,
social
the
media.
20
Yeah.
v
Yep.
ones, the
Yep.
pop the balloon
Yeah.
challenges
Yeah.
is it's just all it's just everything's a facade, bro.
Exactly.
Everything's a facade. People are so afraid to just be themselves, you know. Like Eric was saying, his mask off. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people do wear masks. Like that's a real
That's the
thing.
whole dating scene. All the apps you're putting on a mask. You're painting who you want them to think you
You
are.
are.
Right? For the majority of people.
Yeah.
There's not many people that are true to themselves, put it all out there, you know?
Yeah.
And that pop the balloon thing is the same concept. We watch it and we die laughing because it's like, yo, you're gonna be biased on all these dudes. the majority of the guys when they got a girl, they're popping the balloon right when she walks out.
Yeah.
They didn't even say nothing, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, facts, facts. It doesn't even make sense,
no,
right?
it don't.
Bro, I call that like brain rot TV.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
it's entertaining, but
Goes nowhere.
it's not good to watch long term.
Yeah.
You know
for
what I
sure,
mean? It's
for
not
sure.
because I feel like that do affect your brain.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
Keep watching that BS. Like it's that. I mean, that's just what it is.
But
BS.
but you know what? That's what pops. It's funny. You know?
Yeah,
It's funny how that works.
entertaining.
Yeah.
It is entertaining. You just can't. I feel like you shouldn't oversaturate your brain.
Yeah,
Though.
I mean, you saw
You know what I'm
Saturday
saying?
Night Live did a remix of it, right?
Yeah.
So like you see how doing something like that's not really educational or like fulfilling to people and helping them learn and grow. Doing something funny like that's what really pops. So that's the facade that's being created now.
Yeah.
Now it's like we need to be doing that so we can get up there and get views and get notoriety.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be true because being true was never really the status,
thing, yeah.
right? Yeah, it wasn't the thing. Being true was weird.
Yeah,
right? But we're
being
changing.
yourself was weird
It
too.
was,
That
but
just
it's
crazy.
changing. It's changing now. I feel like now majority of people like with things like this, like talking to people, being real with them, like getting to know them.
Mhm.
There's value being exchanged in that aspect. Like
Right.
every single person we meet, we can get some value from them, and it doesn't have to be tangible, right?
Mhm.
It just from an experience and talking to somebody, you could go through life differently.
Hey, that's why we started where we started.
Yeah.
That also leads me to my next question. So, in your opinion, what's the biggest mental change from then till now? Like, did your thought pattern of how you used to think about things change? Of course, I feel like once it happened, you was like, I'm super grateful for everything now. You know what I'm saying? Because I know as humans, sometimes we get so used to things that honestly we forget about God, bro.
Yeah.
For real, because we're so caught up in our own thing. We forget to pray, we forget to read the Bible, we forget to be grateful and just appreciative, honestly. So what's the biggest thing that changed in your mindset from like before the accident until now? Before what happened until now?
Well, thinking about God and just religion, spirituality, right? That was huge. That's literally number one. I had to cultivate this kind of energy that could help fulfill my inner self and me being scared and nervous about what's happening. Providing for the family. Like when my dad passed away a year ago, I had to move my mom in with us. So the older place that you had came to was a starter home, and that was for me. So that was perfect. But when everybody was in there, to preserve their mentalities and them to be able to live and have their own space, we had to get a different place. And that put a lot of stress on me because of financials, right? So during the time before all this happened, I'm grinding in my head. And I hate to say it, but like when I found out about this, I was like, I have to do as much as I can right now before shit hits the fan to really be able to uphold what's here and
Yeah.
not lose everything, but being out of work for 2 to 3 months, 4 months, however long it's going to be. And setting up stuff that has been residual was the biggest thing. So before all this happened, I tried to set things up to where when this did happen, that I could do business on the phones, investing in the right things to where I don't have to physically be out there. I can work from home and not be so much of a burden because I would need help to go places. Working on it if I wasn't going to work for me because I couldn't physically walk. That changed a lot for my mentality because I feel like from the beginning, having faith in what I was doing was definitely always there. But having more faith for yourself to put yourself on the line on something new, something different. That you have to do it. You got to jump. I jumped in some real estate investments with people, and some worked and some didn't. But I had to have the faith, right?
Gotta take that risk.
Yep. Got to take that risk. So I did that, and I ramped up the car rental business with my fiance. Thankfully, during that time, we were just able to keep it booking. Like I lowered rates, so we'll just be
keep the money coming in.
Yep.
Sure.
To keep it guaranteed. In my mind, I was like, yo, we need to just make the payments like during this time because of how much it costs for the hospital bills, having them come back and forth. We had to do it that way. But I'm glad that the mentality definitely shifted and changed where, hey, I need to be a passive man now. So now I need passive income. I changed my mentality because of this. At any time, we can have an accident. We could have somebody fall sick. And I want to be able to be there to take care of them too. And also in this position to help myself while I can't physically go places,
Yeah.
It was important. It was one of those things where I was like, okay, it's time to grow up. And in a sense, for my own mentality, for not taking the risk and working harder. Because, you want to just not do as much. It's like, okay, I made the bills for this month. I'm good, but no, that's not the case now. Now it's like, we're going to go all the way every single month, all the way, max our true potential. I pay homage to this situation. It's definitely a humbling situation. It's made me rechange everything. You know?
I like that you said that because I wanna I think highlight gonna be my word for today. But I also do want to highlight like how important it is to be prepared for anything, bro. Because I don't know if you heard of that stat that came out not that long ago about Americans. They said I'm gonna just throw a number out there. I probably am wrong, but I think it said like 70 or 80% of Americans don't even have $300 in their savings. Like we're not prepared.
Yeah.
If that stat is true, I did see it on Twitter. You know how everybody know how Twitter is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But if that is a true stat, bro, like being financially prepared for anything, I feel like is the most important. And just like you said, I feel like people get lax, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'm guilty of it. I'm pretty sure all of us in here are guilty of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I done made this for the month. My bills are covered. I got like 200, 300, 400, 500, whatever left over to spend.
That's it.
I'm about to spend. I'm gonna spend. This is my fun money.
Yeah.
People don't think about, okay, well, let me put this away. Some people do. Majority of people don't. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So I did like the fact that you touched on that and you actually like explained what you did and how you had to push yourself to like, okay, are we in this situation now? All right, well, we're going to ramp up the car rental business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love for people who going to watch this to see that, bro. Because you got to realize like people going to watch this that's going to be in the same position as you and they're going to be in the beginning stages where they just found out.
Yeah.
And I hope they see this and understand like, all right, it's not the end. My story is not over.
It's the beginning. That's what Kite and I talk about. This is the beginning.
Facts.
It's the beginning of a new story. And the new story will be painted a little differently, right? But I'm still going to have essence of the original story.
Exactly.
Now I'm going to hold true to who I was, but I could be a better person from this versus a negative person, because it's easy to be negative when you're dealing with pain, changes in your body. It's so easy to be. So anything medically, right, can really dwell on you. Right? And I've experienced that with people too. I think tying into what you had talked about with like birds of a feather flock together. It's definitely true. You're a product of your environment, and I realized I had let go of certain people before all this really started going into effect in my brain, like November and December. And it happened for a reason, right? Like I was being pushed away because I wasn't feeling good before I had to go to the hospital and have the operation. I guess my body was knowing, okay, we have to get into this fight mode right now. Anybody negative, people bringing bad energy, I can't have them around me.
Can't have it, bro.
And it's the truth, because there are a lot of complainers. There are a lot of people that say the same story all the time. And that's a majority of people, right? But there's not many people that have a new page and a pen every day ready to write what they want. right? Like this, I'm not accepting what has been dealt to me. I'm changing this. I'm gonna write a whole new story, and no matter what keeps on happening, I'm still gonna write that same story because that's what I'm gonna get. I'm manifesting that, you know,
Yeah.
and that's real. Like there's seldom people that are like that. That's why we connect. You know, with Dollar, that's why we connected. With Kite, that's how we connected. I remember when we came here from Baltimore on the bus, I was at Planet Fitness. I remember my boy, Ian Melhorn, helped me become assistant manager there, and he was manager there. So he's like, yo, my homie's coming, and he's moving here from Baltimore. Came right off the bus, came straight to Planet Fitness, and I felt the connection. We were on the same page, right? He was writing a new story. He came here. He was ready to go, change himself. And I was at the same point in my lifestyle. I'm like, okay, it was corporate then. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ride this corporate wave. I didn't want to go to school then. When I didn't really find the purpose of school, right? You know, I'm 31 now and I'm in college, but it was the right time and the time that I could afford it because I didn't get scholarships. Like I heard you said you got a scholarship. That's a blessing. That means you did right in high school. I didn't. You know, so I would have to pay out of pocket. It took time to get prepared to be able to do that. You know.
No, that's real. That's real. And no, that's real. Because the maturity level of when you're supposed to go to college, you really not.
What's the prerogative of college, man?
You know
party,
what
right?
I mean?
Meet people and party. For the most part.
Exactly, bro. And I didn't fully understand. Like, I'm gonna still go to school because I made my mama a promise. But now that I'm older and I understand how schooling works, I feel so bad I wasted my parents' money sometimes, bro. Because I had a scholarship.
Yeah,
I had a free ride.
Yeah,
Like I was there and I lost my scholarship because playing.
Okay, I get it.
I wasn't mature enough. I just wanted to go to the party. I wanted to be around all the girls.
Yeah.
Well, I got them in the cafeteria for fried chicken Friday.
There's one every day too. That's what people don't talk about. There's a party every day. There's like 3 or 4 parties every day.
Yes. So and we at the beach at the time. We at the beach,
even
bro.
Worse, bro.
Yeah, like if it ain't a party going on campus, we can still just go to the beach and have a beach day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of distractions. Time management is so key when you're doing things like that. And just the money, bro. The money.
I know.
It's like it was a lot.
Well, the opportunity that's there is cool because like if you think about it now, I regret at that time. I wish I had the mentality of like, okay, this is a business. And I'm paying to go to the school so I can get this network. What can I provide this network that could help me get money? And now I'm thinking about these kids that are in college, that are younger, that they know what these kids want, right? They know what these kids are spending money on, and they're starting things and they're blowing up, right? I mean, it's a network. I mean, whatever college you go to, especially at Coastal, you meet so many people. So
many places. I was so shocked to go there and realize like, it's like a bunch of people from New York, from up north in general that know about Coastal. I was so shocked. Like my roommates, one was from Boston, one was from Jersey, and one was from Maryland.
Nice.
And I was like, how did y'all even know about Coastal at all? Like,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But it was a dope experience.
I always hear like this is like the lower scale Cali, but that's kind of defensive. Like it ain't. I feel like the Strand here is actually it's pretty nice.
Yeah,
I like the Strand. Like
I heard Miami too. We like a lower scale Miami too. I heard that. Like the Strip, I definitely heard that before for sure.
I feel like it's a little different Miami. Miami is definitely a whole nother vibe.
But I got the ballers out here. I ain't never been. The ballers, though. Ballers down there.
There's just a lot of money out there. Yeah. A lot more money out there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I was looking at the exotic car rental game, and people that have started out there, they kill it, man. I mean,
they're in the right place.
They're in the right place.
That's why.
Seriously. A minimum $1,000 a day on these cars.
People want to go down there and flex. So.
Yeah, exactly. You're selling a course, right?
Yeah.
So all them boys on Instagram that are renting these Ferraris and taking pictures and these Lambos, they're willing to pay $1,500 for a day, 2 days.
That's insane.
It's insane. It's insane, and they're booked up. You know, you think about the average for these people. I was researching is 20 days booked up a month, right?
Yeah,
that is $20,000+ they're making off of a car, right? If the lease is like you put $50K down and you're paying your lease, and your lease is $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month at that. Even if it's $3K a month, you're making 20. You're profiting 17.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, bro.
Insane.
Yeah, they got it down there.
They got it down there.
Tell me what's your story. I would like to know.